Hello students, Miss Lockhart here. Let's draw some autumn trees together. My paper is horizontal, which is wide. And now I'm going to draw a horizon line about halfway up the middle of the page. And these trees are like oak trees, and they are kind of bumpy. So you'll see when I start to draw the trunk, it's with wavy lines. And then on the left, it went over to the left-hand side. On the right, it kind of goes more vertical or tall. You can really design your tree however you want. Your branches, they can go really any direction. Just keep them organic and curvy. And now I'm going to make them get a little smaller toward the ends and make two lines that are more side by side. Make these little branches. You'll see the base where it's near the trunk is a little wider, and then it gets a little smaller further away. You can really add as many as you want. Now I'm going to go ahead and close off the bottom of the tree trunk with kind of a slightly curved line. And I want to draw a shadow line so that you can really tell this tree is a real three-dimensional tree. It has a shadow. Of course it's a drawing, but it'll look more three-dimensional with that shadow. You can see I'm starting on another tree in the back, and you know it's in the back because it's smaller, it's further away, so you want to draw things that are further away smaller. And there is the shadow. And I did not spend too much time on the sketch of these trees because we're going to spend more time on coloring and the beautiful fall colors. So just have fun with your trees. And this one has a wider trunk, and I'm going to do the same kind of thing where I'm just going to do wavy lines that taper and get smaller at the ends, and then add smaller branches later. We'll be adding lots of fun branches and details and leaves. This is our sketch. Yeah, I'm going to add a couple things. There we go. I'm sure your trees will look different, which is great. And there's the shadow. I'm just adding a few little lines in there to remind me to make it darker. Okay, this is our drawing. Now the rest of the video, I will be coloring my drawing. You may color it with me and pause the video as often as you want, or you can color it how you would like to color it. Use red, orange, and yellow colors for the fall leaves, and have fun. You'll see I've started to color the trunk of the tree brown. I'm going over my sketch drawing that I did with pencil. I'll end up adding more branches just with the marker too. I actually kind of like how the marker leaves a little bit of texture on the tree. It kind of looks like bark, tree bark. And notice when I color, I outline the area that I want to fill in. It just makes it faster and more accurate because you have a wall around the area you're trying to color and it doesn't go outside the lines. Try it. By now you must have noticed this video of me coloring is a little bit fast. I know you will want to pause the video, and you will also want to color your drawing however you like. I do definitely recommend using red, orange, and yellow for the leaves so that it looks like beautiful autumn trees. But you can experiment with coloring the sky or the ground or the shadows, any colors you want. And you can see how I am finishing up my tree bark, my brown. I'm adding lots of little branches, medium and small branches, in addition to those bigger ones that I drew. Okay, the most fun part, the leaves. So I'm using orange first, and I'm just going ahead and putting little fun circular squiggles almost like little spirals all around the ends of the tree branches. And they represent the leaves on the fall trees. Do you see they look kind of squiggly? And then I'm going to go over them again with a red, doing the same kind of movement with my lines, making curved kind of wiggly lines. It's really fun. Or if you'd like, you can draw leaves one by one as well. You can change it however you want. But I definitely am going to do it like this because it looks really fun. And then I'm going to add my yellow on top. And if you're using markers, you'll notice that the colors are going to blend together a little bit. And that will also happen with color pencils or paint. Okay, here's the left side. Great, that's about all of the area that I want to color with fall colors on my tree branches. Now I will need to make that inside hollow part of the tree a darker brown. I think I'm going to even need it darker than that eventually. There we go, use a black marker. And while I'm at it, I'll add a little bit of shadow there at the bottom of the tree where it will be dark, right where it meets the shadow on the ground, the long one. You can really add whatever kind of details or outlines. I will also be adding more texture. So I'm putting green just to experiment with playing around with color for the shadow, but I'm actually going to end up doing a black shadow or a dark shadow. So I'm going to go ahead and put red right over the green and see how dark it becomes, almost like black. So that is what I'm going to do. You can just use a black marker if you want to skip that step. But it is kind of cool to see how red and green, when combined, do create a very nice dark color, almost black. That happens even when you mix paint or color pencils. Okay, there's the second shadow. And you want to make sure that those shadows are all going the same direction. Don't forget you can pause the video at any point. It is going a little fast so that I can show you all of the coloring that I do. Now I'm going to go ahead and color the ground orange, just like the leaves. So the horizon line, I'm tracing green. And then right above that, I'm going to put a dark blue line. I'm going to draw these blue and green lines behind to represent water, like a lake or a river. And that is completely optional. You can color your background however you would like. So I have this nice light blue marker. If you don't have a light blue marker, you can also try using a crayon or a color pencil. It's fun to mix materials. So I need to cover in that white space on the ground. I'm going to use red. It's going to cover up most of the orange, but some of the orange will come through some. It'll look nice. It'll give it texture, like there are leaves on the ground. It does take a lot of patience to color in the background and the white space. It always looks better when you do cover up most of the white space. Unless you need white space, like if the background were snow. So that will be good for now on the foreground, on the ground, the leaves. Now I'm going to fill in the white space of the background and the sky. I'm using a color pencil now because it is a fun way to fill in space. It'll make it look bright outside. I will be going over where I just colored with color pencil to make sure that it's all about the same shade or value. So we don't want any part to be way too much darker than another part. We want it to be the same and match. So I need to go over it and make it all the same, or as best I can. Now I want to add some more texture. I don't really like how those orange spots are just there kind of randomly, so I'm going to go over them a little bit more. And I'm going to add some more detail with this black marker. So I'm going to outline the bottoms of the tree and just put the black line on the underneath side of the branches to represent the shaded or shadowed side of that branch. It makes it look a little more three-dimensional. So you can go ahead and outline and then put a black line under the smaller branches. Avoid putting black in the leaves because it'll make it dark. We want those to be nice and bright. Okay. I'm starting to like it, but I'm wanting to change something about the sky, so I'm going to experiment and layer another color on top. Now it's even brighter. Okay, everyone, I hope you're having fun doing your background and finishing up coloring your beautiful fall tree drawing. I cannot wait to see what you've made. Save your artwork, please. And you can also add more details. You'll see in a moment that I decide to add some mountains or hills in the background that have trees on them just by doing a fun zigzag line on the horizon line. So you can add things like that. You could maybe draw birds in the background, whatever you would like. Maybe there's an owl in one of those trees. Just have fun coloring it in and adding any details you would like. And here you'll start to see me doing the very furthest line on the horizon, which is a zigzag line that represents more land. So it could be hills or mountains or trees. But it's so small that it's hard to see exactly, but it makes the horizon line look more realistic because of the water. Usually you can see some land maybe on the other side of a lake. Okay, you can go ahead and finish coloring and add whatever details you would like. Thanks for watching. I cannot wait to see what you have made. Bye, everyone.